Hi, so one of my subscribers, Bianca, asked about funeral processions. So whether it is she can see, the procession down the aisle at the church for the Pope, or whether it's the procession down the street headed to the cemetery, which we all know the laws of if we watched one of my recent videos. There is an order to things. There is a reason things are in certain orders. It doesn't mean that the way one person does it is better than another, but there is an order for a reason. It's one of those things. You don't always need to know why. You have to entrust that the funeral director knows why and is doing it for a purpose. So typically, you will lead with a lead car. And the purpose of that car is sometimes just to get ahead and to stop the traffic. They may be carrying the flowers, they may carry pallbearers. Sometimes the hearse is actually the lead car depending on how many vehicles the funeral home has. They may only have the one car that day because they have multiple services. Maybe it's a small funeral home and that's all they have is the one car or the one staff member to go to the cemetery. So they may use the hearse and put the flowers in the hearse and the pastor in the hearse. But a lot of times you'll have a lead car and then you'll have the hearse and then they may have the pastor go next. Or sometimes they'll put the pastor between the lead car and the hearse. Then your family will follow. Now, depending on the area of the country and traditions, you may have a family car, you may have a limousine. I have not used a limousine on a service in probably 10 years. It's just not common at most of the funeral homes I work for. There is one funeral home I work for that they do use limousines a lot, but I'm typically not running those services. I'm usually on the back side. So it just depends on your funeral home that you're working with and kind of what's tradition there and what you want to use. A lot of families just like to drive themselves now because they like to then go to the luncheon and don't need to worry about coming back to the funeral home at the end of the day to get their vehicles to go home from there. So lead car, hearse, pastor, family. And then sometimes at the end of the procession, there will be kind of a tail car or a last car just to make sure everybody's getting through the lights, getting to where they need to go, and making sure that you're not getting stragglers jumping in. So, and then everybody should be flagged. Everybody should have a sign or something on the car to denote that they're with the procession. Now, every state does not require flags or things of that nature. Sometimes there's these little sticky notes that go in your window that say funeral procession, things of that nature. So typically there's something that will denote that funeral procession is there and there's rolling. So that is the order to how things go. We'll talk about the order of what happens within different churches on a future video. So Bianca, thanks for the question, and guys, throw them at me. I love answering them. Talk to you soon. Bye.